I remember having maladaptive daydreaming all my life. When I was like 3 or 4, instead of playing with kids, I preferred to stay daydreaming. I didn't realize that other kids thought I was weird because I was immersed in my own world.
Honestly, I can't remember a time in my life when I didn't do it. I believe I was 3 to 4 years old and I would be in the car doing motions like dancing or talking while daydreaming.
The earliest memory I would remember will probably be like me dancing in my mom's living room to like Poker Face and pretending I was Marion from Dragon Ball Z.
I started realizing it wasn't a normal thing when I started to grow up. When you're little, people think it's okay for you to speak out loud to yourself or to have imaginary friends. But when I started to include myself in society and I started to make friends and stuff, I realized I shouldn't daydream in public because kids thought I was weird and teachers stopped me every time. I actually never thought I had a problem, so it's not about thinking it was a normal thing. I just thought I should keep my daydreams to myself so people won't judge me.
When I was 12, I was bored on my computer and decided to research the term daydreaming too much. I then realized that what I did had a name and I began my research on it.
When I was younger, I used to go around and ask people or try and like weasel it in the conversation like, oh, I can daydream for hours while dancing, and I would call it dancing and everybody just thought I was weird. Unfortunately, no one could relate, so I decided it was probably just me who did it, which I later found out in life that that really wasn't the case.
I found this community as soon as I realized what my condition was. I was 17 back then. By the time I already knew MD was a problem that was going to make my college life worse, so I felt I needed an answer after so many years thinking I was the only one having it.
When I originally began researching the topic, I found the Tumblr community, then searched it up on Instagram and found the group chat.
I found it in 2018 after I met a girl named Karen, I think. I feel bad for that name. I don't think that was her name, but I probably just butchered it. I found the Maladaptive Daydreaming community after I left this program where I met this girl who was also a maladaptive daydreamer. Neither of us knew that it was maladaptive daydreaming. We came up with like this whole thing. We called it like IPV, where you use your mind's eye, and we thought we like just did a thing. We thought we just invented it. We didn't. Because when I left, the first thing I looked up after meeting her was, why do I daydream all the time? And then lo and behold, I found the Maladaptive Daydreaming community.
I was extremely happy. The fact that I was able to talk to people who could understand me was amazing. If someone with MD tries to explain about this condition to a person who doesn't have it, it's hard for them to understand you. It was a relief for me to find that I wasn't alone.
I felt like I wasn't alone and that my daydreaming habits didn't make me a weird person. I felt happy to have people who understood me since maladaptive daydreaming is severely under-researched.
I was really relieved, like that daydreamers like high when you like get right to the best part of your plot and like everything is crashing together and you are so excited you want to scream, but like also don't scream because there's probably somebody in the next room. It felt like that, and it was really exciting and really nice to see that there were so many other people who felt the way I did.
I think the two main problems I have are concentration and social relationships. It's really hard to stay focused when you have a world in your head that wants to get out. I have to repeat some parts of a movie because I wasn't paying attention. I get lost because I didn't pay attention to where I was walking. I spent a whole day to study just one page from a book because as soon as I start reading, I move to my daydreams. And social relationships are just the worst. When you have people in your head that are exactly the way you want them to be, it's hard to realize that people in real life can betray you even though you thought you were important for them. Also, it's hard to keep a friendship when you're there dreaming the whole day. They don't think I don't want to talk to them or I don't want to hang out with them, but I just forget about doing those things because I'm daydreaming.
It really messes up my sleep schedule. I have to stay up for hours daydreaming. Sometimes this lasts all night. Due to this, it's difficult for me to get homework done or wake up for school on time. Negative triggers are something I can't control and they strongly impact my daydreaming scenarios. So if I see violence or something that triggers my trauma, then my daydreams could potentially lead to panic attacks or further dissociation.
It's relieved me for sure. It's provided solitude. It's encouraged me to think more and think of solutions to problems that I never would have thought of on my own. But it took up a lot of my time. I skipped out on a lot of school. I missed a lot of fun events and things because I would have rather had been home daydreaming in my own little world than being forced to do things with other people because people. I definitely regret a lot of that, but it's true. I'd like to think that my daydreaming is a little bit more on the immersive side now than the maladaptive, but definitely maladaptive daydreaming most of my life.
Music is my biggest trigger. Whenever I hear it in my mind, it starts to daydream. There are only a few songs that help me to think about my real life. There's a music group that are like vitamins to me. When I hear their songs, I feel good because I am doing real life and not the world I have in my head.
If I listen to music or watch a movie or show, then it will make me want to start daydreaming. I also have to pace while I daydream.
I don't go for walks, but I do have things that I do. Like, I'll dim the lights, put my hair up, put on deodorant, change into a t-shirt or fuzzy pants to get myself mentally prepared to start daydreaming and just forget about life for a little bit. There was a post I put up on Instagram asking people if they did similar things, and a lot of people actually have routines that they do before they start daydreaming, which I think is really interesting.
I told this to some of my friends, and most of the reaction were just like I expected. Some of them didn't get it. Some of them said, "Oh, I think I have them too because I daydream." Luckily, one of my friends understood it and didn't make any bad comments about it.
I've told a few close friends. My best friend and ex-boyfriend were the most understanding. They understood that I couldn't control it, and if I told them I had to go to daydream, they were okay with that. My other best friend, however, had the worst reaction, at least in my opinion. He told me that it would probably go away with time. This hurt me because I've had it my entire life and I don't know what life is like without it.
When I was a kid, weirdness, 100%. I was told that, I was weird. I was the only one who did that. But now that I know what it is and I can kind of explain it in a way that's relatable and more understanding, then I listen to the same song and dance for 10 hours. More people understand what it is and can recognize what it is for what it is, and also they're not kids anymore, so so I think now it's just there's a lot more people who are like, hey, that's a thing, I do that. It's nice.
I told them I hope that it was that easy. It's hard for them to understand that it feels like a drug, but you can't stop doing it with help, like it happens with smoking, for example. I always compare it like having an obsession with eating a lot of food. You need to eat food so you can stop eating. You need to be able to control it and make better choices about the food you eat. It happens the same with daydreams. Human brains need to daydream, but maladaptive daydreamers need to control their daydreams and not be affected by them.
It makes me upset because they don't understand that it's not a normal daily activity for us. It's a coping mechanism for trauma. It's an addiction. It's something that takes over our lives that we can't escape. Letting go of our daydream worlds is like losing ourselves.
It's hard to explain something to someone who doesn't have any experience in that field. People try to connect things with stuff they already know, But maladaptive daydreaming is one of those things that you can't just like put in a box because it is so unique to the daydreamer and specific to the person in their life. And it changes like how you do it, how long you do it, when you do it for. The only way to really differentiate passing daydreams and like immersive and maladaptive daydreaming is more about the length of the time that you daydream, how invested you are in daydreaming and the world building, since daydreamers do tend to go a little bit thick with the plot.
I'm one character that is similar to me. She has the same name as me, blue hair like me, the same personality as me, but her reality is kind of different than mine. I, referring to myself in my daydreams, have many friends with their own struggles. So my universe is all about helping each other with their struggles and also having a lot of fun. I also have a boyfriend who is not even close to my real partner, because he's always by my side and we're also helping each other a lot. I love my characters so much. They're like my whole life.
It varies depending on the song or movie or trigger, but every single time I daydream it includes my friends somehow. I don't want to go into much detail on this part because I'd like to keep my daydreams personal, but it's usually either me and my friends living our dream lives together, or they can be negative and about trauma I've gone through. I try to keep them positive most of the time though, and sometimes it's even based off of real things we've done together.
My daydream takes place around a guy named Aiden Kelly, who gets into these crazy scenarios like dimension hopping, getting swept up into a drug cartel, messy breakups, long-lasting relationships, going on a worldwide tour, and honestly just whatever scenario comes at the moment and whatever I'm feeling. I have multiple timelines and stories about Aiden's character, as I'm sure a lot of people have different timelines and in different life stories for their characters. I think it's more of Aiden's character that I'm really attracted to, and how he always has like the perfect thing to say, always knows exactly what to do. He's like literally my own definition of perfection. So it would make sense why I'd be addicted to daydreaming about a world filled with this perfect person going through all these crazy adventures.